Just over 500 years ago, Martin Luther nailed 95 theses to the church door in Wittenberg, Germany, and the Reformation began. During this week leading up to our worship celebration of the Reformation, I will first give what I believe to be a major purpose for the Reformation. Then I will give some daily meditations on the readings we will hear this coming Sunday. A major aspect of the Reformation was to reform the church. Luther did not want to create a new church. He simply wanted to reform the church. I believe a major aspect of reforming the church was to help people view God not as an angry, wrathful, and judgmental God you had to please or else, rather to view God as a God of love and grace, giving people peace and hope in their lives. I believe many people today, as they did 500 years ago, still view God as wrathful and angry. I believe that because, to an extent, the church continues to portray God that way in order to have power and control over people. To have God help us continue to reform the church and our lives, let's answer these two questions. One, what does heaven, God's kingdom, look like? And second, where is God's kingdom? Would it be safe to define heaven, God's kingdom, as a place of no sin, a place of total love and peace, a place of perfection? If it is, and being sinful, I can't imagine a place of perfection. However, I do believe God's heavenly kingdom is a place of perfect love and peace. Where is God's kingdom? Is it only in heaven? If so, why do we pray every week, "Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven"? Since God created everything and is a part of everything, I believe God's kingdom is everywhere. Of course, until Jesus comes again as King of Kings and Lord of Lords, bringing God's perfection to earth, we will not experience total love and peace here, will we? No. We sin. And because of our sin, people and even the church tells us we have been kicked out of God's kingdom. Think about this. If God is perfect love, who created everything and is a part of everything, how can we ever be kicked out of God's kingdom? Think about this. If we ever feel or are made to feel we are not good enough for whatever man-made reasons and feel kicked out of God's kingdom, who left? We did. God and God's everywhere kingdom of love is still here and will always be with us. On the other hand, when we do something good, which brings love, peace, and hope into our lives or into the lives of others, how do we feel? Great, right? When we do, we are living kingdom come lives now. We have at least a small glimpse of God's perfection. As we reflect on what God's kingdom looks like, total love and peace, as we reflect on where God's kingdom is everywhere, God will continue to reform us to know God's total control of love for the world, for all people, forever. Think about what that reformation of God's love would look like.